Hi, welcome to this orientation video for the online general psychology course. In this video I'm going to be summarizing some high points of the syllabus. I'm not going to go through everything. I expect that you can certainly review that on your own, but there were some key points that I wanted to address. The first thing is this area right here of time allotment. And this is basically summarizing how we will spend the time online that you would otherwise spend in a traditional classroom, actually in the classroom. So if you think about it, a traditional class meets for 3 hours a week, 15 weeks, that's 45 hours. And instead of sitting in class and listening to a lecture or engaging in group discussion, you will be watching, listening, reviewing websites, doing some mini quizzes just like you would do in a classroom, and you'll also be engaged in learning activities online instead of discussing them with your peers in person. Now, in addition to this time, you will also be expected to spend time reviewing the textbook, working on a paper, maybe taking notes. So don't think that the 45 hours is the entirety of your time commitment. All right, so I want to move down a little bit further to the technology requirements. Definitely you want to make sure that your computer is compatible with Blackboard. I think probably the best, I forget what it's called, browser is the Google Chrome rather than Internet Explorer. Google Chrome seems to work better. And definitely make sure that your computer is compatible. When you log on to Blackboard, there's a button you can press to evaluate that. Another thing that I want to draw your attention to is how you will be evaluated in class. Now, there are a large number of small little assignments that are just worth a small amount, because the real key is the assignments are designed to help you learn. So there are many things that you'll be doing, a couple things each week, and what in both the Blackboard video and in this video, I'll talk a little bit about some of these tasks. All right, in this standards area, the main thing that I want to emphasize is this issue of how important it is for you to proofread your work. And I encourage you to compose all of your contributions in Word or something like Word and run a spelling grammar check, do your proofreading, and then copy it and paste it into Blackboard or upload the actual document. Not only does this increase the likelihood that the writing will be high quality, but if you save it as a document, if there's some kind of technical glitch, you haven't lost all of your work. And that certainly happens. Okay, I'm going to move on down a little bit further here to the actual details of the assignment, what's expected of you. The first thing that I want to address is the Understanding Psych Research project. So this project has several smaller assignments due throughout the semester. The goal of the project is, as it says here, you'll be reviewing landmark studies. So these are really important studies in the field of psychology that have had a profound impact. And you will be, each of you, reading a summary of a study or maybe a small series of studies that have shaped psychology. And one of the things that you'll be doing is to create an online presentation, and you'll do that with one other person. You'll also be asked to write a paper, and the paper you'll be doing on your own. Now, I have created a video that is specifically dedicated to how you will handle signing up for the presentation and how you might go about actually creating the presentation online. So certainly I encourage you to review that. For most of you, the presentation is going to be the first thing that you are submitting. The presentation date is going to vary by the project topic. So for example, on the article that's dedicated to IQ, the presentation will take place on the day when we go over IQ, just as an example, but we will have presentations throughout the semester. What's going to happen is two students will create a presentation using the wiki pages, and then the rest of the class is expected to comment on that presentation. Specifically, what you'll comment on is the discussion question or questions that the student presenters have posed to you. Now, it's up to you which presentations you wish to comment on. There are a total of 11, and you are asked to comment on at least 8. So you have a couple of free weeks, if you will. Now, in addition to creating a presentation and commenting on your peers' presentations, as I said before, you'll also be writing a paper. And so the nature of the paper is that you'll not only look at that original study and describe it, but you're also, and this is the key, you are going to look at studies that took place afterwards that basically built upon that original study. So the goal of the paper is to look at how that landmark study shaped psychology. And you can see I have some information here on what's expected of you, and certainly more information is available on Blackboard. And like I said, I've created a video that's dedicated solely to this project. In order to help you write the best final paper that you can, I am asking that you submit a rough draft earlier in the semester at a specific due date, and you'll also be reviewing other people's work. One of the best ways to become a better writer is to evaluate other people's writing. And so not only will you be doing a service to one of your fellow classmates, but it's also highly likely that you'll be doing a service to yourself because you'll learn a little bit more about what it means to be a good writer. All right, so we're going to move away from the project here, but definitely check out the project video. And I want to move into the weekly learning activities. I've described these a little bit on the Blackboard or using Blackboard orientation video, but I will explain again that each week you will have 1, maybe 2 online learning activities. These might be wiki posts, reflective journals that you are submitting specifically to me. It might be an online blog post that you're sharing with the rest of your classmates, or it might be contributions to an online discussion board. Now, you will not be asked to do all 4 of these things each week. Typically, you will be asked to do 1, maybe 2 of these things. Each of these are worth a small amount of points, and the goal is to get you to reflect on the questions that I pose. But the real key is you're going to reflect while also referencing course concepts. So if we are talking about I used IQ as an example earlier. If we are looking at issues related to IQ, you're not just going to give your own opinion, but you're going to connect that opinion with information from the textbook, and you'll clearly indicate where you're making that connection. So the goal is to really make those connections, do some application, because that's typically where the real learning comes in, when you can connect course material to your own life. You also want to be mindful of your writing, because writing quality is also a key here. Now, I have summarized the different types of tasks. The wiki post, these are things you are sharing with other people. Personal journals you're only sharing with me. Blogs you're sharing with other people. Discussion boards you're sharing. So for the wiki, the blogs, and the discussion boards, not only are you sharing with people, but people will also be commenting back on what you have put up there. All right, so each week you will be possibly posting on other people's presentation. You will be doing typically 1 of these things right here. And each week you will also be asked to complete a short quiz. Now, these quizzes are really intended to be a method of learning. There's a lot of research indicating that we learn best when we are tested on material and we get prompt feedback. So each week you'll do a short multiple choice quiz with 15 questions on it. And if you score an 85% or above on that quiz, you get the full number of points for that quiz. If, however, it takes you a second attempt in order to reach that 85% criterion, well, then you're going to earn 11 points. If it takes you 2 additional attempts, well, then you earn 10 points. So each additional attempt that you require after that first try, you lose 1 point. For this reason, it is a good idea to make sure that you are comfortable with the material, you're familiar with the material before you take the quiz. I will say, however, all of the quizzes and the exams are open book and open note. However, don't think that that means that they're going to be easy. You want to make sure that you are prepared. In addition to these weekly quizzes, which are kind of low stakes, there are also module exams. So the class is divided into 3 modules. Each module lasts 5 weeks. So basically every 5 weeks, you will have an online exam to complete. As I said before, these are open book, open note, but they are timed. You don't have a huge amount of time, and that means that you need to know the material before you open up an exam. I will allow you to retake an exam, but only if there was some kind of technical glitch that prevented you from successfully completing it. All right, so you can see I've switched documents here. I've left the syllabus, and now we are reviewing the schedule. So this is a separate document, but it's found in the same place on Blackboard where you found the syllabus. And I just wanted to explain what you're looking at right here. This is a weekly schedule organized both by the week number and by date. And it's summarizing the topics that we will cover, the reading that you will do, which here's an area I need to finish that part up right there. And then this section right here are some of the online sources that you will be reviewing. So since we're not sitting in class and you listening to me, you will be reviewing these videos instead. And I've spent a lot of time identifying videos that are both interesting and compelling, but also do a really nice job of explaining the concepts. And so all of these will be linked in the Blackboard site, specifically on the weekly learning materials. You can see the numbers that are in parentheses tell you how long the video is, so you can estimate how long it's going to take you to set aside to review the information. In this column right here, these are those weekly learning activities: wiki, reflective journal, blog, or discussion board. And as I said to you earlier, each week you are typically going to be doing 1, maybe 2 of these things, but typically just 1. The very first week you're going to be doing a discussion board. This is kind of a nice way to just get your feet wet, get to know the other people in your group. And on the Blackboard orientation video, I talk a little bit about each one of these, and then I'm also going to be creating a short video specifically for discussion board, another short video specifically for wikis, and then a final short video just on explaining the blogs. Now, for the Understanding Research project, I mentioned before that those presentations are going to be occurring throughout the semester. You can see all the way up to the very last week of class, we will have student presentations. So if you want to bear that in mind as you are choosing which topic you want to focus on, that's fine. I will be presenting the very first topic, so this way nobody has to go first, and you can see kind of a demonstration of what's expected of you. All right, this is a review for the schedule. I did a quick review of the syllabus. I strongly encourage you to review the video that talks about the project, and then also the really short learning activity videos so you know how to navigate in these parts of Blackboard. I look forward to working with you.